crazy ass days. With the alcoholic mama, King T and Diamond G. Got the gas pointed at you like Richard Roundtree. Cause 1994 is the year we overdo it. With the house party beats and flowing like fluid. Cause ain't nothing to it but to do that shit and print it. But it's all about the loot. So
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tru Radio right here at WLVS Radio. This is myself, Black GOP, a very happy individual today. This is Sheeta P. She'll be singing Old Saint Nick before the show is over to celebrate the Christmas season. And this is CP3. He'll be sliding down some chimneys on some of those wives out there this wintertime. Folks, everybody, how we doing?
Doing pretty good. Love the intro, but I will not be sliding down any chimneys. Married woman, because I do not have a death wish.
You never done it?
Not down the chimney.
What's going on, Sheeta?
What's up, everybody? Coolin'.
It's great, folks. Another day. Let's start the episode off with some very great news. A military plane. It's not great. Okay, it's breaking news. I was just messing with you. I was trying to bring you up before I pulled you down. You know, yeah. It's like a mental thing, folks. Breaking news: a military plane has crashed off the coast of Hawaii. The pilot is rescued, and the Coast Guard's all over it. No signs of any foul play yet, but we'll see as the details come out. You know, we'll probably hear about this first thing in the morning, even though we may not, because it's not like a plane full of people. Yeah. You know, so we might not hear about it, but we broke it here. It happened right before the show started, folks. Thank you. Breaking news. And CP3,
yes, sir,
Mr. Chimney, is going to get into some sports and talk about how great the Skins have been doing.
Boy, oh boy, Sheeta, I'll go ahead and let you get your Go Giants chant out, because they did.
Go Giants!
Yeah, she was proud to boast that the Giants would win, and I said it would be need a perfect game from the Redskins to win, but I had no idea it would be a 40-16 shellacking, embarrassing loss at home. As I stated, if you're down to your third string quarterback, your season's pretty much done. But I had a glimmer of hope with OBJ not playing in the game, or whatever I don't even feel like getting his name right. I figured they might have a chance with him not playing. But the Giants have been playing some good ball lately. They won 4 out of 5, not to make any excuses, but they were, the dominant team. The Redskins looked like for the first time this season, there was no effort, there was no fight, there was no there was a little fight by the defense in the beginning, but my mindset is you can't continue to give the offense a short field and they do nothing with it and go 3 and out in less than a minute, and then you're right back out there, and then that pick 6 from butt fumble Sanchez kind of put the ice on it and just turned it to an avalanche after that, because the defense looked. Yeah, I mean, the defense looked at it. They gave up. The offense gave up points. They're not scoring points. The defense, that's why they've been lacking, because they've been trying to score on defense. So it just turned into a huge avalanche of bad plays, bad tackling, and a game that most fans left at halftime when it was 24-0. But there was a glimmer of hope for the rest of the season for some diehard fans when Josh Johnson came into the game. And he did spark the offense, put up the 16 points that they did score. I wish that Jay would have maybe put him in at halftime when it was 24-0. Maybe it could have been more competitive, but 31. It was 31? Yep. Yeah, I forgot that last late touchdown. See, damn it, Ken, we didn't need I didn't want to rehash
that.
Really.
Was so nice.
But moving forward, they have a game against Jacksonville, another underperforming team. They're 4-9. They had hopes of going to the Super Bowl after the run they had last year, but their quarterback has also been benched for bad play, Blake Bortles, who they should have never got the contract that he received. They have a second-string backup playing Cody Kessler. He's a dink and dunk type of guy. He doesn't have a strong arm. So the Redskins can have opportunity to make some things happen, but he doesn't turn the ball over. So it's a catch-22. If they can get pressure, maybe, force some things to happen. But the Jacksonville defense has been playing a lot better lately. They just knocked off I believe it was the Colts a couple of weeks ago in an impressive game. So this one, I have a glimmer of hope with Johnson, but I think it's still going to take a perfect game from the Redskins to beat Jacksonville, even though Jacksonville is 4-9, which is a sad statement to say right now.
On the day of the game, right, we were expecting this gigantic snowstorm, and our hearts go out to everybody who was affected by that snowstorm. We were literally 2 hours from being hit with 12 inches of snow, but it just stopped at a little bit down south, which was great for me. But I made this gigantic thing of chili, and I don't watch football, folks, right? but so I do go on social media, so I'm scrolling, making not chili. I'm sorry, spaghetti. Carol made
I
the chili.
made the chili. I was about to say, when you
Yeah,
make chili?
and so I'm scrolling. It's like Skins, and Skins fans are hyper, and then it just stopped. It hit this brick wall, and I'm like, well, what's going on? So I didn't check the score. I go back, spaghetti, whatever, and then I come back again, and people are pissed, and I'm sitting there like, so I just Googled it real fast, and I was like, oh my God. And then me and Sheeta were joking about it the whole time.
Yeah, the next thing I'm getting inboxes with screenshots of the score like I wasn't watching the game and didn't see the score in front of me, Sheeta. Thank you.
Good
What?
So the screenshot it and send it to my inbox like, I'm watching the game. I have to do a post-game live after the game, so I have to sit here and watch this debacle and then talk about it after the game.
I just wanted to confirm,
Confirmation was received. Moving forward on a brighter note, we can talk about the Washington Capitals, who are still playing good hockey, even though Tom Wilson is still out with a concussion. But ironically, TJ Oshie came back after the 11-game absence of him having a concussion, and the Caps handily beat the Detroit Red Wings 6-2. They've won the last 7 out of 10, and 8 out of 10, and the last 12 out of 14 games. They're averaging about 4 goals a game. The defense has definitely stepped up, and they're looking like the defending Stanley Cup champions. They have a back-to-back this weekend, I believe. They have Carolina on Friday, and as you see, I left my notes at home, so I'm going off the dome, so bear with me. And Saturday, I believe they have, I want to say it's another Metropolitan Division team that's at the bottom. I can't remember. The 6th seed, I remember that. But the Caps are playing good hockey. Hopefully Tom Wilson will be back. Some of the young players are stepping up. I saw some nice things last night. Detroit, they won a back-to-back, so they were a little tired. So the Capitals jumped on them early and, took advantage of the game, took control of it, and it was no threat whatsoever. So at least one DC team is performing to their talent level.
Let's go Caps.
Oh, yeah, Sabres. That's right. Yeah, the Sabres. That's definitely going to be a tough matchup. Sabres been playing some good hockey. They are, I believe they're 4th in the Atlantic. They're playing better than most folks thought they would, especially losing Tavares that left via free agency. But they've taken a step forward and playing some good hockey right now in Atlantic, and it's definitely going to be a tough game for the Capitals going back-to-back after Carolina and then have Buffalo. Any comments on the Capitals, or y'all don't just want to pile on the Reds?
No. The Caps just won the title last year. They're totally fine. They just won the Stanley Cup. Okay, the Caps got a good 5-10 more years to not win a title. That's fine.
Well,
we get that now.
We're looking for a back-to-back.
Of course we are.
Said it last year.
I made a lot of money last year out there. I was making bank. I mean, as a bartender out there, right in that area, I was killing it. So they need to bring that business back. The Caps are great.
I remember those calls you calling me after you left the bar, and I was like, "Really? You made that much?
Yeah,
I make that in a week.
Yeah.
You made that in a night?
It was bad. And cash too. So
Caps are baseball?
You better
No, Caps are hockey.
You better watch the other 3 letters you're talking about. Getting to basketball, the other low light of the sports circuit right now. The Wizards are actually playing the Celtics right now. Last I checked the score, the Celtics are up 163-62 in earlier the third quarter. I haven't checked the score since because
you say 163?
No, 63.
I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay. I was like, wait, I didn't hear
that. If it
that.
got that bad, say that again, kid. 82-77 after 3. Celtics. The Celtics are in 5th place in the East. The Wizards are still in 10th. They've been showing some signs of life, as I mentioned last week, but they still haven't, made any real push. They went 5-5 in the last 10 games. They're trying to, get this game against Boston, try to get some momentum because they're out of sorts. John Wall was out of the game the previous game for personal reasons. They didn't really get into what it was, but they lost that game, I believe, by 3 points. And it's just too much. It's just too much dysfunction in that locker room that I don't see them salvaging anything. And I think they need to. I said it before. I say it again. Ernie Grunfeld. I don't know how he has a job still, but he needs to relinquish his duties and need to get on out of town because he has done nothing good for this team in a long time.
Me and Sheeta don't know who that is.
He's a general manager of the team that basically does the draft and picks the players and. Let's just say I think he's been playing. I don't know what he's been. I don't know how he's been selecting who he's, wanted to. But I threw in the towel on the Wizards a while back when they traded Jerry Stackhouse for Richard Hamilton. I was done because you don't trade a prospective, all-star for a dude that's 37 that can't hit nothing outside of 15 because it was you thought it would be a good move. I was done. I threw on my Wizards and Bullets towel. I am a spectator by far only. Robbie, he loves the Wizards, so that's why I let him in the Wizards roundtable handle Wizards talk.
Robbie's Jewish. That's CP3's Jewish friend.
Hey, man, everyone needs a good Jewish friend. I had a good Jewish lawyer for a while. And that's the wrap-up for sports.
That's a sports wrap-up?
That's pretty much, with the Redskins and all of this made, that's pretty much.
You seem a little down.
With the Giants winning.
I mean, the Giants, they've been playing some good football, so I can't knock them. This is what gets me with some of the Redskins fans that was like, I mean, the game was bad. I get that. It was embarrassing at some points. But what did you expect with your third-string quarterback, with a coach that doesn't protect his players, that doesn't call the plays that will help his team, i.e. run the ball instead of throwing the ball when you got your backup to your backup to your backup guards in the game when you're down to your 6-1 and you're putting your fourth-string quarterback in the game hoping to get a spark. I mean, it's just anti-football.
So is it still a no-go for the Kaepernick talk?
Well, with Kaepernick, and that's interesting you brought that up because I had an interesting conversation because when Jay threw his name out there saying that they had discussed, possibly having Colin Kaepernick, I personally believe that it was just a way for him to diffuse the Reuben Foster talk with all of the domestic violence stuff. And by him throwing that out there, it kind of hushed all of that. But what kind of threw them off was when Colin fired back and said that, hey, I would play for the Redskins if they offered me a contract.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
And then it comes out a couple of days later, the Redskins never reached out to him. So I feel like Colin did that to say, "Hey, you're not going to use me to diffuse your situation. Yeah. You think you dodged that grenade? Well, take this one."
Yeah.
And then they've been backpedaling since then. He's not. I don't feel like he's going to take any job anywhere because he has a rock solid case for collusion, and by him signing with the team, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't end his lawsuit, but it would definitely hurt it because folks are talking about Eric Reed. He was also on that collusion lawsuit, but he got picked up and he's actually playing now. But he's still on the lawsuit, but that really hurts his case when it goes to trial. If it goes to trial, when it goes to trial, he's probably going to get thrown out because he played for the NFL team this year, so you can't claim collusion if you are employed unless they're talking about retroactive to when he was a free agent. That's another whole can of worms. We got a holiday lawyer about that. I haven't got that connect yet. Working on it, though.
All right, sounds good. Sheeta P.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up, everybody?
Who got locked up this week?
Yeah.
Nobody got locked up.
Oh.
Well, maybe somebody got locked up.
Can you sing that hello one more time? I mean, that was so, what's happening in the celebrity world?
Well, back to Cardi B and Offset.
Everybody want to party with Cardi.
I mean, that just seems they're so the story with Cardi is now reports are saying that she, they're both torn about the whole situation with whatever that girl's name is, the one that's crying.
Homewrecker.
Saying she's sorry she didn't know the marriage was that serious.
Of course.
Hold up. You don't know marriage? you didn't know marriage was that serious? I don't understand.
I barely knew their marriage was that serious, though. It was Cardi B and Offset. I just couldn't. I almost forgot she was married.
I didn't know. And honestly, didn't really care. And for real, I don't know why it's big news, honestly.
Shit, how do you feel about it's definitely bigger news.
Quiet,
it's definitely bigger news than the Redskins, trust me. At this point in time.
Damn it.
How did you feel about seeing the other girl crying? I saw her. She's kind of a savage, by the way. She could. You got to see this other girl, Carol. We'll show you this other girl.
She's an Instagram model, or I keep hearing stories she's a rapper. I don't know.
She was actually in the painted zebra video with Nicki Minaj. I was watching TMZ last night. Don't judge me. I was up. But they said that she was in the twerking video with Nicki Minaj. She was the girl dancing beside her in the painted zebra outfit. It was a very interesting video. I watched it a few times.
I think Carol actually saw the real footage. She's like, I heard about it on TMZ, but I was just
last night. I watched it.
I watched it a few times.
What'd you think of her crying? She didn't try to apologize. Did you feel like the apology was real or?
I mean, come on now. Even though I mean, now they're going through, all the celebrity marriages. It's just bringing up all the celebrity marriages of how fast people got married, and then they like end up breaking up in a year. Yeah. It happens all the time, But I think come on now, people are married. Like, how could you not think that was serious? Even if it doesn't appear to be serious, it's still serious because you're taking a vow. Like, I don't know whether even if they did it for publicity or whatever, it's still serious.
I mean, I'm not gonna get on my moral soapbox. I'm not gonna get on my moral soapbox today. I
didn't go too deep. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, how could you cry about that? Are you 5? You know what I mean? Like,
because the backlash she was probably getting, some of the DMs or Twitter stuff that folks was probably saying about her or whatever. So
she might as well say, "I'm sorry for being a hoe." Like, I mean, what are you saying?
I mean, hindsight is 20/20. Maybe she shouldn't have, maybe she shouldn't have got broken off by Offset.
Oh man. Do you know where they met? I'm just curious.
They met. I was just reading that they met. Basically, a publicist set up something. They met like that. So I got to look more into my sources. But I read that they actually basically got put together.
So what happened?
So it wasn't like a natural, he was at an event and she was at, it was kind of like they were kind of placed.
So what Craig and them said.
Infatuation.
What happened was, okay, I get it. I just happened to be going this way. She just happened to be going that way. We cross paths, and next thing you know, we in the bed together. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. I've been there before.
And then married. No, I have to.
Good business move.
So, okay, here's another question I have. Because I've been wondering about this the whole time. What is he wondering? That whole thing happened. Do you think this whole thing could be a publicity stunt?
Mm-hmm. I think it could be. And now, Cardi and Offset, they're thinking about getting back together for the sake of the baby. And, they really don't, she really doesn't want to raise her child, But,
hold up, time out, flag on the play. Call it unnecessary bullshit. She has money that she can afford. She will not be raising this child alone. She won't even be 9 out of 10 in the same room with the child for most of the child's upbringing.
Yeah.
So to say that, we want to get back together for the benefit of the child, just go ahead and say, I remember they said he got an album dropping in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that album
get some
dropping.
Publicity rolling.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't. It's like a soap opera. They keep on. Yeah, it's like they just repeat the same cycle all over. If at least you're gonna do some publicity, do something original. Be mad and jump off the roof into the pool or something. Just do something original to make it more dramatic. Don't do the same. That's the sad. That's the original heist.
So, but I would say this. If they are broke up, like, I would love to play Stepdaddy. I would do that for Cardi.
I
would do that.
Stepdaddy.
I would help her out.
No doubt. I would play football.
Everybody wants to help.
We'd be out there going,
I'd be teaching the baby how to ride a bicycle. Like, come on, let's go on the hill.
I don't even like soccer, but I would take him to learn how to play soccer if he wanted to. Let me know.
Anything else on the celebrity front?
Chris Brown is trying to smash Cardi B.
Damn,
basically, yeah, he's actually said, I'm trying to get with her. So I guess the Migos and Chris Brown have had some sort of, beef kind of in the past, and they're not with the whole, Offset's not happy with Chris Brown saying, hey, I want Cardi B to be my girl.
Your girl chose me, nigga.
We've gone from Biggie and Pac to Offset and
Chris Brown.
Offset and Chris Brown.
I mean, he probably gonna sing to her, hit them high notes.
He gonna hit a lot of high notes.
I'm still trying to process this. Biggie and Pac down to Offset and Chris Brown. That's where beef has gone in the entertainment industry. I can't believe it. Who was that kid that said he was the greatest R&B superstar this year?
Jacquees.
Who?
He said the king of R&B.
Who?
Yeah,
Jacquees.
Yeah.
He has that song with that booed up girl, Ellie Mae. Excuse me if I said your name wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. Jacquees, he's the new up and coming R&B singer. He's popping. His music's really good, but everybody else, including Snoop Dogg, is posting on his Instagram, like Cisco, or Jodeci, like all these R&B legends. So I guess everybody's a little flustered because he said he's the king.
But I think that's why he did it, though. I forgot the name of that other rap kid who does the mumble rap who said the same thing. And everybody gets all pissed off and all the old heads get mad and it stirs up controversy. I think he knows he's not. Because I've heard him. He's, whatever. And I think it's something just to get people talking, so I don't know.
I think it's all I think everybody's there, what belongs in the generation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I think everybody's good at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
not everybody, not saying that like everybody, but he's a great R&B singer.
Yeah, for
this era. R. Kelly was, Trey Songz, Usher,
How long has he been out? This job?
6 months.
I don't even know how long he's been out. He's been out for a little bit though, not that long.
Well, I don't listen to a lot of mainstream current music, so
I don't either.
Yeah, so I was trying to get an idea if I might have heard one of his songs, in passing.
Yeah.
You probably have it like work or something. It's real bland. It's not. It's not exciting.
I have a hard time.
I like it.
I have a hard time labeling any of these folks great compared to some of the stuff that I came up on. But they're good in their own right. But to throw the word great out there, it's just too redundant nowadays. They call so many people great and the next up and coming this, and then they're one hit wonders.
Kings, queens.
Well, here's how I take it. My take on a lot of these newer kids, be it the mumble rap or the new R&B kids, is that it's not for me. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to pay for it, right? But they still make their money in this day and age, in this generation. So if someone thinks Lil Yachty is the greatest, MC of all time or rapper or whatever you want to call him, and of course I'm going to throw up a little bit, but I don't have to yell, y'all don't know nothing about rap, because it's a whole different generation. And the fact is, when it comes to like hip hop, we did not keep an eye on our craft. We let all these other people buy it out. So now it's something different now. So, and they're like, for me, I think the 90s is the greatest hip hop generation.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Let me say that to somebody who grew up in the 80s. They'll be like, what are you talking about, man? Rakim, Run DMC. Like, it's kind of generational.
Yeah.
I think it's generational.
I mean, the 80s was more pure rap, pure hardcore. Either you had a message or you was a hardcore. In the 90s, it took a whole nother turn when you got R&B mixed in with the hip hop. Then you got, I don't even want to put it like this, but when Fresh Prince of Bel-Air hit the mainstream with his song, with his rap, it changed the whole complexion of rap. And at that time, it was good for rap because you still had folks that was trying to educate. You had some folks that was just to entertain. And then you had the gangster rap, research, coming up in the late 90s. But now, it's like if you say mumble rap, I'm like, the point of rapping is for people to hear what you have to say, so why would there be something called mumble rap?
Well, I think these days the point of it's just to make money.
That's the sad fact of it. Capitalism has ruined a lot of things, and music is also one of them, and rap definitely, because it's too commercialized now. It's like they used to say, have a wicked jump shot or sling crack rocks. Now is make a hot beat and do a stupid dance, and then you can get out of here.
Not all the dances are bad.
Come on, bro. Come on.
I like the music. My kids listen to it, so.
Come on, bro. Now I want to go back to this dance. Come on, bro. Some of these dances, some of these dudes doing, dog.
I'll do some, but there's a couple of them that are cool.
If you ever break out and dance in my house,
it might happen.
You will be put on the porch with the dog.
I'll be on the porch. I'll just stay on the porch and dance, dude. There's nothing you can do about it. It won't matter. It won't matter.
My neighbors might call the police, so then you're gonna look strange with the glasses and the hat on. Like, something's wrong with him on the porch. He's pop locking for no reason.
Just there, getting it.
Send somebody.
Anything else on your mind, Sheeta?
That's about it. One last thing. Jewel's again under fire.
Oh, boy.
He had an interview. Well, Dipset had an interview with GQ magazine, and he forgot to put his teeth in.
Again? Hold up.
He forgot to put his teeth in.
I thought you were going to say like he cursed or something.
Dude.
No.
He forgot to put his teeth in.
He got to get one of them
and then he
chains
was
to put them around his
scratching.
neck.
Scratching like he was on. He had drug.
Yeah, he got to get one of them chains to hang his
problems.
joints on his neck so he can leave out the house. He make sure he have them every time. You can't keep on leaving the house without your fronts, dog. You setting yourself up for failure, man.
And
I didn't even know he had fake teeth.
Remember we covered that.
We covered that.
Oh, jeez.
I do a lot of radio. A lot.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But that's about
I actually have a little. I was watching TMZ
Again.
Yes. I was going to mention it because I thought Sheeta might mention it, but the dude Kodak Black.
Kodak Black. Mm-hmm.
He proposed to some female rapper at some carnival, but he proposed with one of the blow pop ring joints.
What?
So they don't know if it's a real proposal, or if it was just something for show. But it was on TMZ, so I just thought I'd mention it. Oh, damn. So
I'm going to look into
what
that.
has he done? Shit.
Well, they say it's the thought that counts, though. So, I mean...
I like Kodak because he got songs with French.
I don't know who he
That's
is.
fair.
I don't think I've listened to any of his music, but he was on TMZ.
Well, folks, all right, we're about to shift subjects. We want to take a quick break because we need some water and stuff. I will be right back, folks.
Be right back.
10 years later, still a hip-hop slave, a prehistoric b-boy making beats in my cave. The L-I-K-S. What makes the motherfucker so damn fresh? It's the liquid flows that we're spilling on you. Broadcasting live from Southern California, and we out. Welcome to the next level. The L-I-K-S. Welcome to the next level. The L-I-K-S. Welcome to the next level of rhyme flowing.
You're listening to the Young Cast Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tru Radio. This is Black GOP here, Sheeta P and CP3. We did not plan on having P's in all of our names. It's just something God did, you know?
What can you do?
All right, folks. It's time for my segment of the show, and I need to name it, but I'll figure it out later. Normally I cover current events, politics, things like that. And, of course, I've spent way too much time talking about Trump here on WLVS Radio and also on Tru Radio Network. I have a show called Tru Talk over there. Check us out, by the way. I'm going to get right to the meat and potatoes. And we have a special caller that's going to be calling in a little bit. Folks, I want to talk about Kevin Hart. Right? The Kevin Hart situation with the Oscars. Okay. Because you guys know what happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
We'll talk
very
about what
up to
happened in
date
a
on
second.
this.
All right. So Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars. Okay. And a little backstory on Kevin Hart, for those of you who don't know, right? Kevin Hart is worth over more than $200 million. Worked his way up from nothing in the world of stand-up comedy. He's been a great entertainer, movie star. He's done a lot of work. He's done a lot of charity. And it all came to this one moment. It all came to this moment where he was going to host the Oscars. Something that he's always wanted to do. He's mentioned it time and time again. I only know because I went back and looked. Right. And so, out of nowhere, here you go. powerful black man about to host the Oscars. We're all happy. I was happy, and it was great. And then, boom, the takedown. Mm-hmm. Now, folks who want to talk about Trump all day, and trust me, I could bash Trump easier than I could eat a ham sandwich. But we're not doing that tonight. You can't blame him for this. Out of nowhere, bam, the LGBTQHY community, right? Because I can't keep up with the letters, right? They come out of nowhere and bring up tweets and old jokes from 10 to 20 years, a span of 10 to 20 years ago. And everybody's offended. They're offended. So they call and demand that he apologize. They demanded, Kevin Hart has to apologize. We're so mad because he said he doesn't want his son to grow up gay. That was the main thing. But there are these other little things they're mad about. But that's the main one. Okay? So they demand that he apologize. And so he gives this kind of water off the shoulder apology. Not really an apology, right? But they're still pressuring him. Then finally, the Oscars themselves demand he apologize. So Kevin Hart comes on Instagram. And everyone's like, oh, his video's up. Let's check it out. He's finally going to apologize. And he says, keep the Oscars. Keep them. He didn't say it like that. It wasn't that cool, but he said it very maturely. But he said, I don't want to do it. Don't even worry about it. So this particular community literally just took a black man down, a powerful, famous black comedian down. I don't know why that sounds familiar, but it just happened, right? And they paraded on his grave, okay? So, a little further backstory. There was a movement, and this movement was called the Civil Rights Movement, right? And this movement ensured that people could vote and, walk on the other side of the street and drink from other water fountains and all these, and lift a lot of restrictions, be it schools, be it what have you. And this movement was fierce. It was great. It had some great leaders. And this movement just kept going. This movement continued. And then suddenly, like out of nowhere, like, boom, there was this other movement. And the other movement was the gay rights movement, which I have nothing against, okay? Right? Though I'm not about to gay bash. Everybody relax. Okay? So slowly, these movements kind of fused. Now, on the civil rights movement, was, of course, primarily for African Americans and other people of color, and the gay movement is what it's named. And so these movements suddenly fused together because the left, the LGBTQ, the Democratic Party said, "Hey, black person, we're struggling too. Hey, we're struggling too, man. We should, right? Come on, God, let's work this out. We can do this together. We're stronger in numbers." And we said, sure, that's a great idea because we're being oppressed and you're being oppressed. So why not? Let's take down the man together. All right. And then Barack Obama became president. Boom, happy, victory. All right. And he had nothing to do with this, by the way. But then gays were able to marry in the Supreme Court. Boom. Gay win, set, match. Got him. Stuck it to the man. Cross country, they can marry. Good for them. I was really happy for them, honestly. And then they kind of said, Black Lives Matter. Oh, guy, that's a little hey, hold on, guys. Hold on. What do you Black Lives Matter? No. We support you like on Facebook, but when y'all march and all that stuff, no. We're over here chilling and gay is the new black land. Because if you notice, that is a phrase. The gay is the new black. It is a phrase. Keep in mind, I'm not gay bashing. This is the actual history. This happened, okay? So now we have this movement that we hurled our civil rights at and included ourselves with them. We get to the point where a powerful black man is about to host the Oscars. And that same movement takes him down, chops him down like a tree. Just chops him down. And they're not like apologetic. No one's sitting here going, "Oh, wait, everybody, slow down. This thing went a little too far. Let's all talk here." They're like, "That's what he deserves." Trust me, I'm in a lot of political forums. all I study and read all day long is politics, right? CP3, your thoughts?
It's a very slippery slope, in my opinion, because as you mentioned, you have people going back looking 10, 10, 15 years back for tweets or whatever. We just had the Heisman Trophy winner have to apologize for, a tweet that he put out where he said the word queer when he was 13 years old. As an immature teenager, how are you going to try to hold someone that's barely 18 years old accountable for something he tweeted out when he was 13? So, and then to actually hold a comedian whose job is to entertain, ridicule, and make you think outside of the box, and the fact that he already had apologized for it before, and that was more of his stand, like, I'm not going to keep on apologizing for something from years ago that I've already apologized for. If you guys want to take the Oscars, okay, cool. I'm not going to sit down and keep on having apologizing for the same thing over and over again. And the fact that he's a comedian, to me, is kind of ridiculous because that's what he does. I mean, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Andrew Dice Clay. I mean, they were insult comics that talked about people. Well, George Carlin, he changed to more of a political. But, that's what they did. If you go back and listen to some of the old records from the old days, you can get offended at a lot of the stuff. I mean, my thing is, if you don't like what they have to say, don't listen to it. You don't have to, sit there like, oh, this is offensive. This should be taken off. No one should hear this. No, everyone doesn't feel the same way. Different words mean different things to different people. So instead of getting offended and butthurt at everything that might, go against what you believe, sometimes you have to agree to disagree. I mean, some of the stuff he said, it was in comedy. Maybe he was coming from the angle that he didn't want his son to grow up to be gay because he knows the plight that they have to go through by being a gay man, and then being a gay black man would be, compounding it. But no one asked him what that was. They took it as, oh, he's talking down on gay people. No one even tried to ask him, well, what does that joke mean? They took it as, oh, you're talking bad about gay people, so we're going to bring you down. It's about context. And if no one even asks, well, what did you mean by the joke? They just took it as what they wanted and run with it. And unfortunately, we have this instant gratification, tweet something out, yada, yada, yada. And the next thing you know, you got a whole butthurt crowd. Oh, that was wrong. Now you got people that's not gay or not white telling people what's racist, or not black telling them, no, that's prejudice. It's on your own basis. So, I mean, all of this manufactured outrage is really getting redundant because at the end of the day, people don't have anything to say. They're just regurgitating what they hear and see on TV or what, Billy Bob Joe told them or whatever.
Yep. What do you think, you?
I think it's crazy. And like what CP3 said, like, he's a comedian. Like, they make jokes all the time. I don't get it. And did they, were they threatening to take the Oscars position away from him, or he was just forget about it?
The Academy, the final apology demand was directly from the Academy.
Yeah.
Ooh. And that's when it's like, you know what, y'all
like, we're going to have to go in a different direction if you don't, go make another apology. And he's like, I'm not going to shuck and jive for this Oscar. It would have been a great opportunity for him, but like you said, he's worth, over $200 million. He's one of the hottest, actors out here right now. Him and The Rock. They got a great camaraderie. I'm sure they're going to probably have another crazy movie out where he's going to make money again, and he won't even care about it.
He sold out a goddamn stadium, not like an arena, like a whole stadium.
I think they were just putting stuff in the game. You know what I mean? Because it's always been hard for, black people to get to get into the Oscar thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just something just to throw it off a little bit.
I mean, to be real, when hasn't successful black person in this country been taken down by some rumor or some thing? Like they say, this country lifts people up to tear them back down. That's for some reason that's what they love doing. But I mean, you can name Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Prince, anyone that's been successful. They try to find a way to bring them down and make them look like less of the person that they are because they're famous and they have success and they've lived the American dream that they thought we would never be able to get. Most of us will never see it, but when those, minorities do make it, it's still harder for them because then you have the, the non-minorities who feel that they shouldn't be there looking down on them like, oh, you got your money through this. Well, I got my money through, going to school and I got a job. No, you got your money through the same way most rich old school Americans have, through the drug dealer of their day, prohibition, and the stuff cutting corners back in the day that their grandparents and their grandparents did, that they're still getting that residual wealth off of. So, like I say, it's dangerous out here right now, man.
Now, I get it, because I always study the opposition to anything. Like I'm even on like Black Tea Party member sites, like white power sites, just to read what they say, because you have to be able to talk to them, right? So I've talked to a lot of gay people about this. Is gay still okay? I don't know if it's been banned yet.
Not sure.
And the ultimate comeback is, well, you can't talk about it, because you know how we kind of have the shield of you can't speak on what it's like to be a black man unless you're a black man or a black person.
Yeah.
You know, so they've also absorbed that, and they said, well, you can't speak on it because you're not gay. And I said, okay, cool. So I'm sure there are people out there in the radio world that are thinking the same thing. Well, you know, they're all straight. What do they know about being gay in the LGBTQ community? So what I decided to do was I'm gonna swat that all down and have my homeboy Ziggy come on. A guy I came across on social media, and he's gonna be calling in just a second. But I came across on social media while I was researching the subject, and he has a lot of other interesting Facebook Lives. Mm-hmm. But he is a homosexual man, and he's also going to break down his thoughts on the very same subject. And I told him I'd give him a good amount of time to just run, especially since Kara was pulling us down, talking about the Redskins.
I'm just covering the sports, baby. I'm just reporting what's going on out there. I'm not making the news. It's not fake news. Unfortunately, we're in the downward spiral, and
it's real,
baby. You know what? Sheeta? We don't need you dancing on our graves after we've already been danced on for the week already.
All right, he's calling in right now.
Great. I definitely want to get his perspective.
There we go. I think we are in. Ziggy, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
I'm good, doing good. This is myself, Sheeta P, and CP3.
What's up, Ziggy?
How you doing tonight, Ziggy?
Would you like to go ahead and introduce?
How y'all doing?
Would you like to introduce
tonight?
You're doing pretty good.
Doing good.
Well, Ziggy, do me a favor. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself to the panel and the audience, and let us know your background as well?
Hey, my name is Mr. Ziggy Cobain. You know, freaking, I'm on Facebook. Black GLP is a good brother of mine, you know, so as the subject at hand that arose and came up, well, he asked me to come on here and speak on it and just give my insight about it. So I'm here to do that.
It sounds good. I think you're coming in a little muffled. Are you clear?
Yeah, I'm clear. Hold on, I'm about to hit the speakerphone. I'm on speakerphone now.
Jesus Christ. You called the radio show on speakerphone?
That's a no-no. We don't do that.
I'm looking at my phone like, oh, man, I guess it's time to upgrade. All right, you ready to go now?
Yeah, let me get it up, man.
Right. Go ahead and get on it.
This whole Kevin Hart situation, man, and I spoke about it on a live feed I did not too long ago. And to be honest, the gay community they got soft. Then they got so soft and complain about everything that happened. Now, I understand this situation happened recently. And that happened like a month or 2 months ago. This was a situation that happened back in 2009, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody with some type of vendetta decided that they were going to screenshot something that he said, and in my opinion, it wasn't even that serious. Now, reading those tweets from back in 2009, you would read it like he was in the middle of a show, like he was reading to do a live special. And to be honest, if push comes to shove, you don't hear anybody talking about the things that Richard Pryor said about gay people. You don't hear people complaining about the things that Bernie Mac said about gay people. So when it comes to Kevin Hart, everybody wanted to try to throw stones. And it's ridiculous. Why got to remember the same thing happened to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was about to come up, and all of a sudden, boom, he gets accused of young females and so on and so forth. Kevin Hart, one of the top guys in the game right now, making strides out here. He's about to be a host of one of the biggest award shows. What happens? Boom, they stop his money. People don't realize, I think this has nothing to do with a G. This has to do with powerful people being put in powerful positions and having it snatched from them based off of them capitalizing on how a group of people feels about what someone says about them. That whole tweet situation, I laughed at. Because it's not even that serious. Motherfuckers ain't got real soft.
Ziggy, let me ask you this.
Everything.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Especially in this situation.
Oh no. Ziggy, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let me ask you this. And I did point out before you called in that you are a homosexual. So does that in any way impact your opinion about the situation with Kevin Hart?
No. Because the same people who are sitting here complaining about what he said back in 2009 will be the same people who will continue to buy his movie, try to look up tickets to go see when the next show, if he's coming to their city. So they're complaining about nothing. What's funny about it is what they fail to put out there, because, people want to be so negative. What they fail to put out there is, while he was promoting Right Along with Ice Cube, I believe on CNN, and he was asked a question about what did he think about gay marriage, and his response was, love is love. So, if they think because of him tweeting something back 9 years ago, come on, y'all. 9 years? Y'all waited 9 years to bring this up? Y'all didn't bring it up back then. Y'all bring it up now. And it's so convenient that they brought it up as he's about to host this award show. People need to wake up, open y'all eyes, because this is a clear example of them trying to shut somebody down, because they know they can't shut them down with their tactics. So they're going to shut them down using the gay community. Bottom line.
There it is.
And people are falling for it. People are falling for it. My Facebook timeline lit up, and I'm sitting back watching this shit, and I'm like, some of these people who are complaining on my Facebook timeline, you got the same idiots who are tweeting and reblogging about, oh, Kevin Hart's about this and Kevin Hart's about that. We love Kevin Hart. Now all of a sudden, y'all let some motherfucker from 9 years, y'all let some motherfucker bring up some tweets from 9 years ago, and now all of a sudden y'all hate. Come on now.
Hey, Ziggy, there it is, man. We're about to get out of here, bro. We're going to start winding the show down. Hey, thanks for calling in, man. Really appreciate it. We're going to have you back on soon, man.
It was an honor. It was definitely an honor.
You have a good time?
Hell yeah, man. Hope I can jump back on here again.
Yes, sir.
Bye,
Appreciate
Ziggy.
it.
That's my man right there.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
All right,
All
you
right,
too.
take care.
All right.
Yeah, man. We actually just met online about a little while ago. Maybe like 4 or 5 months, like on social media.
Yeah.
And he does these lives where he's like, I don't know. He was nice, but he's normally like, I'm a 250 pound. You won't think I'm a faggot? Come get me. I'm telling you, dude. And he'll pull the hammer up like, you think I'm a faggot? Then come get me. It's cool. His lives are always lit, yo. Follow him, yo. Ziggy,
you gotta have some folks like that because
his lives are always lit.
Yeah, there's that perception out there, that those people are getting bullied, those people are getting beat down, and it's crazy because just because they're different. I never understood why folks felt threatened by the gay community. I mean, they who they are. They love who they love. They're not out trying to do anything different than what we do. They just want the same respect and the same rights that heterosexuals have. I don't see an issue. What they do in their bedroom don't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, though. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, it's true. It was funny because during one of those conversations, I was this time I was going against like a hardcore right winger that was totally against the LGBTQ community, and he's like, well, what would you do if your child grew up to be gay? And I said, well, first off, I'll start with the Kevin Hart line because we was arguing about it because of Kevin Hart. And I said, I said, I would rather my daughter not grow up to be gay. I was like, but if she did, I'd invite her girlfriend over and we'd all have dinner. It's no big deal. So like, there's two extremes of it happening. You just can't. It doesn't matter what you prefer, what your preference is. We're raised in a different era. Yeah. But but these people that are scared of gay, I don't understand them. I don't understand. I never will.
I mean, they feel threatened by anything that goes against what they were brought up on or raised on, even if it was true or false. It's what's ingrained in them. And when you start talking about things that go against what's been ingrained in them, what their daddies and told them or their granddaddies and told them, they just automatically get defensive and don't even want to have the conversation because their mind's already made up because their daddy told them what it was.
Yeah, true.
It's sad.
How about you, Sheeta?
I mean, just the whole thing is crazy. I agree. I don't have a problem with anybody like on this, just period in general. You know what I mean? I don't care what you are. You know what I mean? Or we're all different. That could go from people treat us like that because of the colors of everybody's skin. Like anything. Anything
different is scary to some folks.
Right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay. So let me tell you. Since we have a little bit of time, all right? Let me tell you a really quick, funny story. So I'm FaceTiming with my daughter, right? Because I absolutely do not live with her because I'm a black man. And
I knew one was coming sooner or later. It was chill for the whole night. I knew one was coming.
When the camera was on, when I want a shot, right? I'll move the camera away like bam, and I'm back because we FaceTime for like 2 hours at a time, stuff like that. So we're doing it and we're talking. I'm FaceTiming, and so I go to take a shot and I forget. And I just take one right with her on the FaceTime. First time ever. And I'm like, she's not going to know. She's 3. She's 3. And as loud as humanly possible with like the whole family in the background. She goes, what are you drinking, Daddy? And I go, I'm smarter than a 3-year-old. I go, water. She goes, that's not water. Why is the glass so small? I was like,
dang, kids are smart.
Sold you out on the FaceTime.
Yeah, ratted me out.
She knew it was something in that cup.
That's it. Any stories, Sheeta?
Oh, I don't have no stories. I could just say shout out to Drew Pop. Shout out to the Coke Boys. Shout out to French Montana.
Sheeta's going to get us all killed.
Yeah. Now we can't go to New York no time soon. Man.
That was a joke, French.
Oh, shout out to Gross De Niro as well, out of New York.
Shout out to Sports on the Hill podcast, Team Sports OTHP. Love y'all. Appreciate all the hard work you do, all the fans and loyal listeners. Thanks for checking us out every Monday night, 7 to 9, every other Thursday at 9 o'clock. Tune in tomorrow night for my Facebook Live Redskins weekly breakdown of the matchup of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It'll be a Facebook Live because we'll have another show on Blog Talk tomorrow night. And appreciate all y'all love and support. Make sure you keep tuning in. And the movement has begun. The Tru Radio Network takeover is upon us, people.
Google it.
Word.
Hashtag, baby.
Walking in the legend and I feel like